What's going on, everybody? Good evening. Doesn't really feel like evening anymore. It feels more like night. And I feel like saying good night is like something you say when you're about to leave. It's not like a greeting, it's farewell. So it doesn't feel right to say good night, but it certainly feels more like night than evening. The point is, it's definitely way too late for me to be posting a video. I usually don't post videos this late, but I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, obviously, the reason why this video got pushed back as much as it did was because of the Thursday night game, which I was actually doing a, as it turned out, watch-along stream of, because I was doing my midweek stream during the second half of that game. I honestly thought the game would have been over by then and no one would have cared. I thought it would have been like a 3-touchdown Rams lead at that point. So I was like, it's not going to matter. It did matter. Now, I'm certainly not upset about it because we got to do a little bit of an impromptu watch-along stream of a very interesting Rams 49ers Thursday night football game, which ended with, of all things, a 49ers overtime win, which, look, I talked about this in the rooting guide video, so if you want my full thoughts, watch that. It's not 100% clear what we wanted to happen in that game. My gut tells me that we wanted the Niners to win, but that is something that we might come back to at the end of the year, thinking to ourselves, well, we actually didn't want that. But I'm pretty happy about that one. So that was a lot of fun. That's not what I'm talking about in this video, although it's definitely very interesting that the Rams lost a home game on the short week to basically the Niners B team. It's a tremendous credit to Shanahan, of course, but if you're a Rams team that has, at the very least, mild Super Bowl aspirations this year, you have no business losing that game for any reason. So I do think that at this point we have to conclude that the Rams are overrated. They're probably not that good, and this division, with the Niners' injuries being what they are, and I know they won that game tonight, but the Niners' injuries being what they are, the division is wide open. All right, so there was that, which is why this video is as late as it is. A couple things. This first one's going to be pretty quick, though. Tampa Bay did finally release their practice report from today. Like I said, we didn't necessarily learn a ton from it. Just to briefly go over some of the stuff that we can learn from it, though. First of all, Levante David was limited, as was Tyke Smith. So those two guys probably going to be available, but probably less than 100%. So worth keeping an eye on going forward. And I also asked in that previous video, well, okay, we know these guys practiced. How much did they practice, though? For the most part, the Buccaneers actually got pretty good news today. Greg Gaines was a full participant. Logan Hall, same. Charlie Heck remained a full participant. And Hassan Reddick was full, as was Tristan Wirfs. Now, I don't think those guys were at any real risk of not playing, but the fact that they're full participants for a Thursday practice indicates that they are pretty close to 100% at the very least, about as close as you're going to get in this circumstance. So the practice report did tell us a little bit, but we're still kind of in the same spot. So I didn't feel like making a video just for that, but I do need to talk about this. It is injury related. We got this tweet a couple hours ago. I think it was like, what? Yeah, it's actually by this point almost 3 hours ago. Devon Witherspoon is currently considered unlikely to play this week due to his knee injury. And obviously, on the surface level, this is very unfortunate. By the way, this tweet's from Matt Zenitz. I don't know very much about who he is, but the source is, or at the very least, the surrogate source is CBS Sports. So this does strike me as pretty credible. Obviously, this is unfortunate. It's going to hurt our team because Witherspoon is better than the guys behind him. And it also reduces our ability to have flexibility with somebody like a Reek Woolen, who apparently has finally changed his name back to Tariq, which is nice. I like that. I appreciate that, Woolen. But in all seriousness, this is obviously bad on the surface, but beyond just the surface level, like I kind of talked about in the video earlier today, we got to start wondering what's going on here. Is this something that he's going to be fighting through all season? Is this going to be something that forces him to load manage pretty hard? Is this going to be like a Kawhi Leonard or Joel Embiid type situation where we just can't ever count on having the guy and he's going to take a lot of games off because he's working through this? I don't know. I'm getting a bad feeling about this one. So let's think about the timeline here. Excuse me. Let's think about the timeline here. So he played against he played against Pittsburgh. I'm sorry. He played against the 49ers week 1. Misses some time with the injury, right? He misses the Saints game. I think he missed the Steelers game. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that he did. Yeah, he did. Comes back for the Cardinals game, a Thursday night game, plays the whole game, gets through it without obvious injury. And then he gets the mini bye week, which gives him extra time to get ready for the next game. And now it looks like he's not going to play. It's a little bit confusing, right? Because I don't think you can point to any one particular play in that Arizona Cardinals game where Witherspoon got hurt or re-aggravated his injury or anything like that. I can't think of a play where I was like, oh no, Witherspoon got banged up again. And then maybe I could say, well, he got through the rest of the game because of adrenaline, but once the game ended and he got back in the locker room, it became clear this was going to be a problem. I can't think of a sequence like that. So what this kind of indicates is just the act of playing football somehow accumulated to the point where now, even 10 days later, they don't think he's going to be able to play. And that's definitely a big concern. And this is something that could linger on all season. This is something that is not just about this 1 week where, look, we're playing a Tampa Bay team that has much bigger injury issues than the Seahawks do no matter what happens here, right? We could have Witherspoon or not. We are still doing better than Tampa Bay is. They've got this laundry list, and we don't. But this is still a significant deal, and it's definitely not what I wanted to hear tonight. So I don't know if we're going to get clarity from the team on what's going on here, and I don't know if we should have it. To be perfectly honest, that's probably something they should keep secret. I don't know if you want to let opponents in on the dirty details of what a player's exact injury is. The only thing that the public needs to know is the general sense of whether or not they're going to be able to play. But, that being the case, we have to speculate. We have to guess. And right now, my guess is that there's something going on here that Witherspoon's going to be dealing with all season. Love may be in the same boat as well, but the thing with Love is they have him marked down with a hamstring. So that doesn't feel like as big of a mystery to me. Hamstrings are just something that naturally can linger on for a while. And you just kind of, you're careful with it and eventually it goes away. This feels more like something that needs off-season surgery to go away. That's what I'm worried about. So hopefully we get to next week and we don't get some notification that Devon Witherspoon's going to injured reserve and he's going to be out a month. Hopefully we don't get anything like that. If that's going to happen, then honestly, we want it to happen now so we can get back quicker. But I don't know. My radar is up, people. My radar is up a little bit. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. I will be streaming tonight on Twitch later, but I know it's late. Not a lot of people are going to see this, but wanted to talk about it for a bit. See y'all later.